Hello, my name is Anne. Welcome to Books, Crafts, and Planning. I just went through a 20-minute video explaining my TBR game and picking books, only to realize that I wasn't sticking to my TBR game. So we are going to try this again. I apologize if you hear my dogs. I'm currently filming at the back of my house where my driveway is, so you will hear them. And I apologize if my kids come through and answer me questions. I wouldn't say I'm a Harry Potter fangirl, but I do love Harry Potter. I did the Pottermore quiz or whatever, and I'm a Hufflepuff. So with that being said, my TBR game correlates to Harry Potter. I will roll a 6-sided die. Actually, probably should find a 5-sided because 6 is basically series and like 2 mangas that I still need to read. And then I will roll a 20-sided die, which will correlate to my prompts. So number 1 represents Sirius Black. For that one, I will pick a mystery off of the shelf that I roll if I get number 1. Number 2 is Hufflepuff. 50% of the cover has to be yellow. Shooting for 100%, but I'll be okay with 50%. Same with Gryffindor. It has to be a red color. Number 3, I can find number 3. I apparently don't have number 3. Number 3 is Gryffindor. Wow. Number 4 is Harry Potter. It will represent that, and it'll be about a season, whether it's Christmas, winter, fall, or a season of life, season of love, something like that. Number 5 will represent the Goblet of Fire, which will be a historical fiction. Number 6 will be Dumbledore, will be the oldest book on my TBR. So if I were to roll, say, shelf number 1, and I got 6, I would go through my Goodreads, figure out which one of the books on my shelf is the oldest. Number 7 will represent, again, I put these all over, spaced them out to where they're random. Number 7 is Ravenclaw. It will represent a blue cover. Again, 50% of the cover must be blue or 100%. Number 8 is going to represent the Majora's Map, where I will have to read a book with a map or a dual timeline. Number 9 is going to correlate with Draco Malfoy, where I will have to read a male author. So whatever shelf I get, I will have to pick a male author. Okay, I apologize for that. I want to say it was 9 that I stopped with, which was Draco Malfoy, a male author. So I'll have to find a male author on whatever shelf it is. If for some reason I cannot find a male author, I will re-roll the shelf number until I can find a male author. Number 10 represents Hedwig, where I read about another state or a continent. I am currently living in Kentucky, so I read a book based on another state or another continent around the world. Number 11, if I can find number 11, will represent Voldemort, or He Who Must Not Be Named. For that one, I will read a thriller. Number 12 will represent Luna Lovegood, where I will read a mood read, something that I'm in the mood to read for, whatever it may be. 13 is going to represent Professor Lupin, because he is always saying, eat, you'll feel better, and he always gives you chocolate. So if I roll a 13, Lupin will be a chocolate break. I don't add a book, and I just re-roll. So with that, if I end up with 4 books, I end up with 4 books. Number 14 is representing Professor Trelawney, where it will be a female author. I have to find a female author based on the shelf that I rolled. Number 15 is going to represent Hermione. For that one, I will have to re-roll the shelf and re-roll the prompt. Number 16 is going to represent Neville Longbottom. For that one, I'll be using a random number generator. So if I roll whatever shelf I land on, if I roll a 16, I will do a random generator of how many books are on the shelf, and whatever that number is, that's the book I will read. Number 17 represents Professor Snape, and he will be a standalone, not part of a series, duology, or anything like that. Number 18 is going to represent the Golden Snitch. For that one, it'd be a recently purchased book. I will go through my Goodreads, find a book that correlates to the shelf that was recently purchased. Number 19 is going to represent Dolby the House Elf, and for that one, it is a free choice. I get to read whatever I want to on whatever number the shelf was. And then finally, we have number 20, which represents Slytherin House, where 50% of the cover has to be green. Goal is for 100%, but 50% we are going to accept. The rules are as follows. If I roll the same shelf more than 3 times, I have to add a roll. If I roll the same prompt more than 3 times, I have to add a roll. That may change depending on how often I roll the same shelf or the same prompt. Being that this is the first TBR I'm filming, if come March I fail my TBR where I have not finished all of my books or I'm not 50% of the way into the books remaining on my TBR, I have to roll an 8-sided die. If I get an odd, I'm safe, no extra roll. I still roll my standard, we're going to say 6, because I average 5 to 7 books a month. And then if it lands on an even, I have to add another roll. So I apologize if you hear my kids in the background. Again, they can be very loud. So with that being said, there is 2 books that I need to get onto my TBR. One is Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen. It's a manga based off of the Pride and Prejudice. I have never read Pride and Prejudice book, but Nicole over at Dusty Book Sniffers is doing a bingo challenge year-round where she picks a number and correlates to a bingo prompt. And for that, she got manga this week. The second book I need to get on my TBR, I've already started it, is the Harry Potter series. Nicole, again, from Dusty Book Sniffers, I'll link her channel down below, is doing a read along with the Harry Potter series. I read this whole series, I want to say it was 2015, 2017, and I want to reread it and then watch the movies, as I have never seen past the 6th movie. Yeah, I know, it's been out for a while. So those are the 2 that I need to get on my shelf. So let's roll our dice. So for the first roll, we got number 6. Number 6 is the rest of the Harry Potter series and 2 books. Let me see if I even have a 5-sided die. I don't think I do. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 or 5 is a series. So we are going to scrap the original idea and just roll. We're just going to roll that one. And if we get a 6, then we are going to roll again, and it's not going to count against my prompts. So we're just going to re-roll that one. That one gave me a 5, which is full of series. Number 15 is the number we got, and it's a re-roll because we got Hermione. So we're just going to re-roll the whole thing. Okay, the next one we got was number 4. That is the shelf below me, which you cannot see. The prompt was 13, which is Lupin, and gives me a chocolate break. So I haven't added a book yet. But because I need to get this manga read, we are going to add this, even though it's a chocolate break, so that I can get this read for Bingo Challenge, because she's doing, Nicole, again, from Dusty Book Sniffers, is going to release a video every Sunday. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a 6, and prompt number 12, being that 6 again, is that. Number 5 is a James Patterson series. Number 12 represents Luna, which is a mood read. I'm kind of in the mood for thriller/suspense. So we are going to start the first book in the Women's Club Murder series by James Patterson. I started this series a few years back, stopped at number 5, never picked it up again. I don't remember what all happened, so we're going to reread it. In this book, we are following someone who is stalking and slaughtering newlyweds. And then we have 4 unforgettable women, all friends. Lindsay, a homicide inspector in the city's police department. Claire, a medical examiner. Jill, an assistant DA. And Cindy, a reporter who has just started working the crime desk of the San Francisco Chronicle, joining forces, pooling their talents, courage, and brains. They have one goal: to find and trap and outwit the most diabolical and terrifying killer. So I'm excited to get that one because I really want to finish the series. I currently have the first 15 on my shelf. So there's that one. Next roll, y'all can't see this, It gave me a 5 and an 18 because 5 is all James Patterson series. We're going to reroll that one. It gave us number 4, which is this shelf down here, and 18, which is a recently purchased book. I want to say any of these books on here are recently purchased. So we are going to just randomly pick one. And for that, we are going to pick, well, let's also do timeline. So, sorry, I had 2 that were dual timelines, and I want to save those in case I get the Majora's Mask. So for prompt roll number 3, we are going to read Daughter of the Reich by Louise Fiend. I guess that's how you would say that. This one has been on my shelf since last year. It follows a dutiful daughter of a high-ranking Nazi officer, Hetty Henrik, is keen to play her part in the new glorious 1,000-year Reich, but she never imagines that all she believes and knows about her war will come to a stark conflict when she encounters Walter, a Jewish friend from the past who stirs dangerous feelings in her. And together they dream about when the war will be over and plan for their future, but as a rising tide of an anti-Semitism something threatens to engulf them, Hetty and Walter will be forced to take extreme measures. Will the steady march of dark forces destroy Hetty's universe, or can love ultimately triumph? So I'm excited to get that one on there. Number 4 is a 5 again. So I think I said I was going to do 5 rolls. I don't remember. So we have to add another roll. Even though I really can't do much with number 5, we're still going to add a roll. I did get number 19 for, I don't know where that number 19 is, but I got number 19 for the prompt, which will be a free choice again. So let's roll a 6-sided die. We got shelf number 2. Shelf number 2 is this one right here. And I said it was a free choice. So let's see here. We've got historical fiction, murder, manga. Let's go with this one, Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. This one I have recently picked up. We follow 17-year-old Daphne, who spent her life honing her body and mind to that of a warrior, but an unexpected encounter with the goddess Artemis, who holds Daphne's brother's fate in her hands, upends the life she's worked so hard to build. 9 mysterious items have been stolen from Mount Olympus, and if Daphne cannot find them, the gods' waning powers will fade away, the mortal war will descend into chaos, and her brother's life will be forfeit. I picked this up because I've always been a fan of Greek mythology. I read the Percy Jackson series years ago when it first came out. I do need to reread that, but I'm excited to get this one on. So that's number 4. We have to add a roll. So this is going to be roll number 5. Lands on another 5. So if we get a 5 again, we have to add a roll. So it gave us prompt number 6. So re-roll. That gave us shelf number 3, which is this one right here. Number 6. Please be something nice. Number 6 is oldest on my TBR. This one, I'm getting a lot of chunkers, y'all. I believe this one is going to be my oldest on my shelf, on that current shelf. So this one is The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. I read The Alice Network, I believe it was last year, and really enjoyed it. In this one, we follow England as they prepare to fight the Nazis. 3 very different women answer to the call to mysterious country estate, Bletchley Park, where the best minds in Britain trained to break military codes. Vicious Diabot also has everything, beauty, wealth, and the dashing Prince Philip agrees, sending her roses, but she burns to prove herself as more than a society girl and a puts her fluent German to use as a translator of decoding enemy secrets. So that is timeline of 1940. Then we have a timeline of 1947 of the royal wedding of Prince Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Whips post-war Britain into a fever. The three friends turned enemies are reunited by a mysterious encrypted letter, the key to which lies buried in the long ago betrayal that destroyed their friendship and left one of them confined to an asylum. So, excited for that one. So that is roll number 5. And we have one more roll. Hopefully we don't get the number 5. And we did not. We got a number 3. And we got number 18, which is a recently purchased. This one will be easy. Again, we're back to shelf number 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, I want to say 4 books on the shelf that were recently purchased, because we have a lot of chunkers, because I believe the Rose Code is like over 500 pages and the other ones are quite the same. I'm going to pick up let me take this sticker off. I get a lot of my books from Half Price Books, and sometimes I forget to take the sticker off. So the 6th and final book for this TBR is going to be the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Last year, I read the whole Daughters of the Sherlock Holmes series by Leonard Goldberg, where you follow the daughter of Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, who helped Sherlock Holmes and his son, and they solve crimes. In those books, some of the original Sherlock Holmes crimes or stories were referenced. One of them in particular, which is in another book on my shelf, was The Dancing Men. So I've always wanted to read the Sherlock Holmes series. There's several in here. And so that would be number 6 for the year. So final count, we got, let's see if I can do this without everything falling. For the final count, we got A Chocolate Break, which I decided to read a manga so that I could fulfill the bingo prompt challenge. For the second roll, we got shelf number 5, and I don't remember what shelf it was. I really should have written it down. I want to say it was a mood read. Roll number 3 was Daughter of the Reich, which, again, I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was oldest on my TBR. That's right. Daughter of Sparta. Was it oldest on my TBR? I don't know, y'all. I really don't. I don't know. But I know Daughter of Sparta was a recently purchased, and I did recently purchase this back Thursday of last week. The 5th roll was The Rose Code by Kate Quinn, and for that one, I want to say this one was oldest purchase on my TBR that correlated to that shelf. And then the 6th roll, which we got because we rolled shelf number 5 more than 3 times, and it's currently just a series shelf, we got what was it? We got 18, which was another recently purchased, and this one I recently purchased again on last Thursday. So that is my TBR stack. Hopefully I can get through all of them. I do need to get the Harry Potter series on there, which won't take too long because it's very short and it's kind of big font. So this I'll be reading kind of in between everything. But that is all for this video. I promise next TBR video will be more in tune, more organized. But if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos in the future, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.